everyone, and welcome to Scrap Saturdays. I hope you're all doing well. Yay, look at me go. I have like 10 layouts and videos. Well, they're not voiced over yet, but I've done them, right? I'm batching them. So I scrapbooked, and now I'm uploading and trying to do one voiceover at a time so that I don't feel overwhelmed. And so this video is going to be a little bit longer than most of them because I did leave my process of how I kind of cut up the papers. And basically, I'm just doing exactly what I would do if it was a regular kit. I'm just cutting up these papers into 8.5 by 11. They're not double-sided, so it kind of takes out the guesswork of, you know, direction and what paper I like better, because sometimes that really does play a factor. So the paper pad itself does not have double side, but it's also very thick, so it's very good quality paper. The second half of the paper that I use, and I don't know if it shows in the video that I cut it up or not, which is the American Crafts paper that I showed you in the previous video, is double-sided. So that one I kind of looked to make sure that I was getting the side that I enjoyed best. So basically this is mindless. What I do is I just put on some YouTube, whether it's scrapbooking videos that I'm trying to catch up on, because I feel like I'm completely re-immersing myself right back into it and just kind of catching up on so many videos and just trying to see like what the industry is doing. I feel like I was like in a time warp or something, but it's so much fun to be back. Like this is September right now and the kids are going back to school tomorrow, and I'm just trying to make a little bit more of an effort so that I don't feel that I'm so overwhelmed. But I do miss you guys so much, and I do hope that you're all doing really well. Your children, your loved ones, your pets, everything. I just hope everyone is sincerely doing well. So hopefully this first little half, I think it's about 5 minutes. You can jump ahead if you need to, but I'm basically doing the same thing. And what I want to say about this is a very important thing that I say all the time, but you know, let's get right back into it, is that it has to be easy, right? That's what I'm finding right now. There's a few things in my life that are taking up a little bit more time than scrapbooking can, and I really played around with the thought in my mind of, do I come back? What do I do? And it's what I said in the other video. I'm not giving myself any expectations. Scrapbooking is going to have to be totally passionate and loving. And I mean that because I can't promise you a schedule, and I can't promise myself, and I don't want to be worried. I need it to be freeing in my mind. And so doing what I do, which is one, catering to my style. So what is your style and what do you feel when you scrapbook? So that's okay, right? Watching some YouTube videos so that you're inspired by somebody else's style, or you're inspired by a new technique or something that's brand new and hip and trendy. Absolutely. Go for it. Try it. But don't stress yourself out. Go back to the familiar, especially if you've been away from scrapbooking, especially if you haven't scrapbooked before. You know, just go back to what makes you feel comfortable, and that's what I'm doing with this paper pad. I'm just cutting it up, and now I'm pulling out all of my dies. Those are just in a little bucket that I have, and they're my go-to ones, except for the leaf ones that you're seeing me use right now. It's a Cricut brand from Michaels, and they're supposed to be like autumn leaves. I'm gonna really tell you the truth, right? But the paper I'm working with is more tropical leaves. But in the end, like now that I've done about 10 layouts, they really work well for me. They're pleasing to me. So I'm happy that I have them. I was supposed to get my Cricut down and cut up stuff, but you know, like I said, it had to be easy. It couldn't be too much of a hassle. And I really find that I gravitate to dies so much more now. And they're always there. They're just handy. So halfway through some of my layouts, I do pull up my dies whenever I need an extra one. But I didn't keep all of them. I cut out some bows, I cut out some tags, and I did my usual banner ones. So here I'm just showing you the leaves. This one's a rose one, but still, when you put it down on a layout, a leaf is a leaf is a leaf, right? So yeah, my Cricut, and I love these. These turned out great. And then coming up after this, I just quickly show you that I got one of those IKEA organizers. Actually, my sister-in-law, Marlene, hi Marlene, she was so kind and she picked up 2 of them for me. And I'm using it to organize some of my favorite Felicity Jane stamps so that I can use. I still haven't even used them yet. I have to like make more tags. These are just some leftover thickers that I've pulled from my stash because I think the colors kind of resonate with what I'm looking for with the paper pad from Recollections. And then there you see the little organizer. I'm using the old envelopes that I first made, or the tag like journaling spots, and they just host some Project Life cards as well in them. And the little bins, or the little cubby, the dividers, are different sizes and shapes. So it's just perfect to kind of pull in little things. I grabbed some flare badges that you see off to the right because I love flare badges. So they were kind of fun. And the Project Life roller stamp. That's a bin that's not going to go into the container itself, but it still had all of my little cut aparts that I had just done with my Cuttlebug. So it's a few days. It took me a few days to come into my craft room and kind of like start and stop and start and stop. And I find it lends into now the first layout that I'll be creating today. And I didn't even look through the paper. I kind of looked through the photos a little bit and then I just stopped. I thought, no, I don't want to overthink things because then I'll just walk away. And it's kind of like I follow this lady on Instagram, and her name is Melanie Robbins, and she's the 5-second rule person. You know, don't feel like doing it, do it anyway. You have to count to 5 and move your butt and do whatever it is that you think you don't want to do. And so that's kind of what I gravitated to with the scrapbooking. It was kind of like, just do it. But it didn't turn out like that. Like, it's a long video and it's fast. Like, it's fast forward. It's sped up. And I still hum and haw over so much. And it really felt rusty. I really felt tired and I felt not in the mood. And I fumbled with my YouTube to see what I wanted to watch to kind of distract me or to have background noise. And I moved things around so much on this page, and I just thought, it's crazy, crazy. So this first photo that I'm working with is a photo of my dad at my favorite beach in Madeira, and it's called Prainha. And it's a tiny little cove, and it's a volcanic area where Madeira would have separated from the coast of Morocco. And there's this cute little tiny church at the top of that mountain towards the left of where my dad's sitting. And when you're swimming out in the ocean, you can actually look up and see it. And it's just the most romantic thing ever. And my husband, Alan, took this picture of my dad. And so I'm going to read you the journaling from the tag. I wrote, "Did not even know that Alan had taken this photograph. He understands what this means to my father. The return to love. The place where it all began, but now he has new eyes, a new perspective, a new understanding that this life was good and this life was beautiful, and we will come together to remind him, to show him, to love him. Thank you, my love, for capturing this moment for me. It is beautiful." And so I remember when I saw Alan post this online and he put his own little caption at the bottom, and it just, for that moment when I did get some Wi-Fi, it really humbled me to understand that although this was a luxurious, summer vacation as a family, I was so blessed to have a partner in life that understood that it was a little bit more than that. It was a journey towards healing. And although I did not expect to have, and there's so many stories to come, and I hope that you'll join me on Saturday and I can continue to tell you, but the first little bit of what I'm trying to explain is just like this layout brings back that rustiness, and it challenged me to go back and to search and to find the passion of scrapbooking, right? It challenged me to come back to myself, is just like this photograph. Seeing my dad humbly sitting on this rock and watching his grandchildren swimming is an experience that I will never forget. But it's also an experience that my partner, who didn't grow up in my household, understood that it was important to capture. And I am so grateful that he did, because I do remember seeing him sitting there. And I thought to myself, there's so many instances on this vacation where it's a return to where he started. But it's a return where the siblings and the grandkids pulled together and we rallied and we tried to do our best, because we know that it's so easy to turn your head and just hate and be angry and live in the, we had lack of, and you didn't do enough for us, and the choices you made weren't the best. But instead of doing that, we're starting from scratch. We're digging out our papers. We're moving things around until it feels comfortable. And we're allowing ourselves to start again as a family in a different dynamic with different eyes. And I'm going to tell you, my friends, it takes a lot of courage. It really does. It's so humbling. And I think all of us together, we understand that it's a regrouping of sorts, right? That he's sitting here now, almost a 70-year-old man, and he's now seeing things for the first time in such a different light. And so I was so grateful. And it's so funny because the paper, or the background paper, is this map paper, and I believe it's a map of Africa. And it's just fantastic. My dad actually spent, 3 years in the Angola War when he was a kid. And that's probably, due or, amounted to why he has so many issues, and, how scared he must have been to think, when you're a kid, really that's what you are when you're 17 and 18, that you join the military and you're fighting a war that you have no idea what's going on. So the paper itself is ironic that that's where I placed him back. But the photograph is so much more than that. It's just amazing. And so if we can start again, if you can allow me to start again, if you can trust me to join me here on Saturday and to follow along with my stories, I'd be so humble and grateful as well. And the message I want to make sure that you understand is that there is never a right or wrong way to start again. It's not like we planned it. We did. We planned the vacation, but we didn't plan the starting over. We didn't expect what we got, which there's so much more to tell. And it was amazing, because sometimes when you don't set yourself up for anything, when you don't set the standards so high that they're so unattainable that you truly are setting yourself up for failure, and you just allow things to naturally progress, that's when you're surprised by the beauty of life. That's when you're surprised by what people are truly capable of if you allow them the chance. If you set aside the differences, if you close your eyes for just one moment and understand that they truly, truly didn't know better. And that's so hard to do, right? Because we're in the day and age of information. So we believe, because we've got Google everywhere, and Google's going to give us an answer in less than 5 seconds, we've forgotten that in their generation, in his generation, there was no information like that. They blindly believed or blindly trusted in cultural traditions that maybe don't hold up in today's society. In cultural, societal norms that for sure are very wrong now. So what do? Do we hold them hostage for the rest of their lives because things have now changed and we expect them to be as fast as Google? No. It's not like that. Compassion and kindness comes from what you show, from what you do, not just from what you say, right? Because it's so trendy to be compassionate and kind. But what have you done today that truly shows an example of that? And so that's what this first layout is. It's a very hard one. I move things around all over the place because I'm not sure what I want to see, and I'm not sure about this paper collection, and I don't think that there's even enough little bits and pieces for me to play with. And you'll see in other videos I do add in some other things that I have around my scrapbook room because I'm watching myself grow and change, and I really want to stay with the scrapbooking, but I do need to add the helper bees around. And so I hope that you understand what I'm trying to say, because you know how it is. It's got to be deep. It's got to have a little bit more meaning than just a process video for me. I know you guys know how to cut up paper, and I know you guys know how to glue things down. But if part of my process and part part of my purpose is to have this channel is to talk to you and maybe resonate on a different level. Maybe it's not your father that you really need to think about. Maybe it's somebody else. And maybe my progress as a human being can help you in some way. And that would make it all worthwhile. The whole time of moving this piece of paper down, moving this piece of paper up. And you know, I watched a few videos and I thought to myself, one of the things I really needed to do as well was let go of trying to make this video perfect. You know, thinking that it was too long or too this and not enough angle, and I just have to let it go. I just have to let it be what it is, and whatever you need from this video, you take from it. And I'm just going to put out what I can. And I think it worked out. I really liked it. I really did. And it's just so fantastic. I used a very old stamp. It's like a bus ticket stamp. And I used the Memento gold ink that you saw. I don't even know what color it is. I'm so off memory. But once I got going, I kind of really liked it, right? Like right now I can see myself and I'm like, yeah, you know, the foam stickers on the corner, and it was great. And then I got to the title part, which is here, which is something I still struggle with, is like my titles. And it was like this, and where do I put it? And how do I want it to sit? And where does it go? And you know the jam. You've been there. You've done that. And so please remember that. It's my first time back. And always, whenever you have the camera rolling, it's a completely different environment when you're, you know, scrapbooking. I totally respect everybody who puts out videos. It's not that easy. Once you get into a groove, it is, but it's there. You know you're on camera, so it's a different bit of a pressure. I'm trying to put down this where this should go, but this isn't working out for me. But we're almost done, I promise. 3 more minutes. This video does not have any photos at the end because I still have not taken photographs of my layouts. That's my next on to-do list item, but I will get there. And I'm just going to be using these blue thickers that I have, and they're again left over from, who knows, maybe a hip kit, or I probably bought them on their own. And I'm going to title it This Place, right? This place where we start again. This place where we set aside our differences. This place where we come together to tell our truths and to set each other free. And it's this place, as I get very emotional, my dear, dear, sweet friends, I hope you made it to the end of this so you could hear, this place I've missed. I've missed speaking to you. I've missed creating with you. I've missed your comments, your love, your kindness, all of it. And the first thing I want to say is thank you. And I send all the love right back to you. And I hope that you're making time, that you're taking time to heal yourselves, to love yourselves, to know that you're loved, that you are enough, that you are precious in every sense of the way. That every single day that I have a voice, that I promise to make sure that everyone I speak to will know that they were loved. So I hope this was good. Yeah, it's got to go right there. But it's those letters, you know, the ones that kind of like spread apart and they don't like sit in place. And I was like, please go down. It doesn't want to go down. All right. So Saturday morning, I'll see you next Saturday. Lots of love, lots of love, big tight hugs. The date's got to go down. And I can't read this date stamp. It's the Heidi Swap one, I think it is. But I love it because it's the handwritten dates, but upside down and backwards. I can't tell what July and August look like. So I'm like, I don't know. Got to stamp it. I think I stamp it off. Yeah, that's what I do. Always have a scratch piece of paper, people. Off to the side. That's what we need. All right, my friends. Thank you so much. Love and light to all of you. Great big hugs. And remember, take time, make time, because as you know, this hobby heals. And I will see you all very, very soon.